everybody, happy Sunday. I hope that wherever you are and whatever you are doing, you are having an amazing weekend. As you may have seen from the chicken and garden update, the sun is finally out, the snow is melting away, and as you hopefully will have seen from Friday's video on the main channel, Yamper, which is Michael's Chevrolet Volt, is back from the shop. And despite what we thought was wrong, we thought there was an issue with a thermistor in the battery pack, the garage said, no, it's something to do with the transmission control module, which they replaced. And because Michael had an extended warranty on the car, the battery pack was exempted from that extended warranty, but the control module was not. So Michael's car is back, it's fixed. It didn't cost very much to fix at all because he had the warranty. And hopefully, fingers crossed, that other issue doesn't come back. I'm a little blown away by how this problem that we were seeing, which we thought was something to do with the thermistor within the battery pack, seems to have been caused by something completely unrelated, interacting strangely with the car. But that's what the dealership said, and we just have to trust them on it. And so far, this car has behaved itself and worked exactly as it ought. So we cannot complain at this point. But that is essentially the topic of today's video. If you watched Friday's video, and I highly recommend you go and watch it, Michael talked about his own personal experiences with the Chevrolet Volt in the shop. And he said as part of it, he now feels really jaded about used electric vehicles, used affordable electric vehicles and plug-in hybrids, and said he's not sure that he would recommend anyone buy one because of the potential for pretty expensive repairs should something go wrong further down the line. Now, I have recommended the Chevrolet Bolt to lots of people since Chevrolet came out with the battery warranty replacement program, because a lot of those older Bolts are now getting brand new battery packs with brand new 8-year, 100,000 mile warranties. And so there's not really a concern, the same type of concern that you would maybe with this car. But it has got me thinking, and it's got the team thinking. We've been talking about it a lot this week. Do you trust used electric vehicles? Or are you someone who still thinks, electric vehicles are only for those who can afford them brand new, who can afford a brand new warranty, and maybe those who are going to keep the cars long enough so that even after the warranty has expired, they own the vehicle outright and they can just go ahead and either buy a new one or they can actually afford to get it repaired. Because part of the reason for being fearful of expensive repairs is if you're paying a finance payment every month, then having to turn around and pay for repairs is really complicated and expensive. And so I want to know from you in the discussion below this video and in our Discord chat room, if you have been put off buying a used EV because of worries about where you can get it repaired, how much it will cost to get it repaired. I know in the UK, for example, this car, the Chevrolet Volt, is a car that is really only an enthusiast's car, because there's only, I believe when I left the UK, there were only 2 garages in the whole of the UK who would even work on this. There were many, many more that would work on the Opel Ampera, the Vauxhall Ampera, because it's a different badge and the certifications for that car are valid. But for the Chevrolet Volt, and there were only, I think, 2 or 3 dealerships originally that even sold it, getting official repairs for this car is just a nightmare in the UK because they don't have the dealer support network anymore. Now, I know that that's an extreme case, but there have also been other cases that we've heard of with Mitsubishi i-MiEVs and early Nissan Leafs, not necessarily in the US or North America, but in other parts of the world. There are some people who, especially if they live in an island nation, people who have purchased Nissan Leafs either brand new or as grey market import vehicles from say Japan or mainland USA, are finding that if the battery packs are going wrong, their local dealerships, they're not equipped to fix the cars. They're not necessarily interested in fixing the cars, and the cost to replace those parts is so cost prohibitive that those cars are either just being written off by their owners and sent to the recycling centre, or, as is the case, I believe, in Sri Lanka now, we're seeing Nissan Leafs being converted to internal combustion engine vehicles by enterprising folks who go, well, the chassis is fine, the drivetrain and everything else might not work because it's an electric vehicle and we can't get hold of the battery pack. But that doesn't mean we can't take an internal combustion engine vehicle of a similar spec and put the transmission inside. I've seen several videos of Nissan Leafs running around Sri Lanka with internal combustion engines instead of battery packs, because Nissan is either disinterested or not vested, or whatever the reason is, in making those battery packs affordable and easy to get hold of. And I know it's not just in smaller countries and places where maybe the Leaf and other cars like it, the Volt, were not sold in volume. I know it's a problem that is much more widespread than that. So maybe you're the option, maybe you're the alternative. Maybe you are someone who did buy a car that you knew would have limited support, but you've either worked on it yourself or you run a company. I know that there are several people who watch the channel who run companies that replace battery packs on older unsupported EVs. And if you are, just leave a shout out in the comments below. Or maybe you're someone who paid one of those companies to work on your vehicle. And if that sounds like you, I would love to know what your experience was like and whether you would recommend that for someone else. And how did you get around the financial challenges of paying for a brand new battery pack? Let me know, because I think it's a really important discussion that we all need to be having moving forwards when it comes to EV affordability, and also just making sure we can keep these cars on the road for as long as they need to. And the sun has come out and it's lovely, and Michael is going to have such fun colouring this, because it will have gone from being dark to suddenly bright sunlight. So bright sunlight, in fact, I can barely read the list of names on my phone. Before I do that, though, I do want to acknowledge, yes, I had oral surgery this week. Yes, there's a weird thing in my mouth. It stitches. My gum is very sore still. Hopefully the stitches are coming out on Monday and then my gum will recover, but expect it to be a bit black and a bit bruised and blue for a couple of weeks. And unfortunately, there's nothing I can do about it. Anyway, that's it for today's video. If you liked it, you know what to do, and feel free to tip us with a super thanks. The comments are open for your thoughts, as is our Discord chat room. There is a link below. If you want more, subscribe, hit the bell, and follow the links to regularly support us with a YouTube membership or a Patreon subscription. You'll also find links to our Ko-fi, Bitcoin and SAG store. And check us out on Mastodon. Our server is awesome. Scrolling on my right is our list of amazing Charged Up supporters, and shout outs go out to our self-driving tier supporters. They are Mike Weeder, Tony Moss, Linda Irish, Sean Tucker, Patrick Boyarski, Paul Nelson, Chris Maxwell, Brian Newton, Michael Goad, Bennett Elder, Andrew Martin, Pedro Mora Pinheiro, Brophy Wolf, Chris and Michael Johnson, Tazlet in the Gong, Dan Blair, Peter Dillinger, Gordon C, Stephen O'Donoghue, Carl Hodgson, Anthony Coates, Ray-Jean Fellows, Denny Hyde, Chris Centaur and Jim Vaness. Finally, out of this world thanks to our top tier supporters. They are Robert Flannery, CPU Freak 101, Andrew Glenn, JP Fagerback, Joe Bresney, John Lyons, Rory Litwin, Kevin Burrowbridge, Dave Kitchen, Aaron Hahn, Laura Reynolds, Marcel Ward, Matthew Drobnak, Paul Conway, Reggie Watts, Will Graylin, Ellery Hensley, and of course, Ian. I will be back with another Sunday Musing very soon. Don't forget, we make content on the main channel every Monday, Wednesday, Friday and Saturday, plus of course our chicken and garden update and Sunday Musing here on Take 2. If you didn't watch the chicken and garden update, you won't have seen that we have so much snow still, but it's all getting a bit slushy. So I'm going to go inside where it's warm, and until next weekend, keep evolving.